Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Zoe and I'm a mama of one and I make motherhood and lifestyle videos. Today's video is going to be on popular baby items and toys that I will not be buying. Now before I get into it, I just want to give a quick disclaimer that I'm not a baby expert. These are just items and toys that I don't want to buy my son. They're my personal opinion. If you have these items or toys in your house and you love them and your baby loves them, then that is awesome. Keep it up. Keep buying those things for your child if it works. But there's numerous reasons why I don't want to buy some of these items, and I will explain them in the video. Now we'll jump straight into it. So you can see that I'm surrounded by toys right now because I'm actually going to show you some of these items that I do love. So the first item that I will not be buying for my son is a baby swing. Of course, it wouldn't make any sense to buy a swing right now because my son is now a bit over 5 months actually, and I believe they only last for the first 6 months. That was one of the reasons why I didn't want to purchase a swing, is because they don't last very long. I'm sure you can get certain swings that do convert to maybe a rocker or a bouncer, and maybe they do last a bit longer, but from the research I did, most of the swings out there just didn't last very long. They're very expensive, and I just feel like my son wouldn't have really enjoyed sitting in a swing a lot of his time. Maybe when he was a newborn in the first couple of weeks, but after that I don't think he would have really enjoyed it very much. So if you don't know what a swing is, basically it's a little seat that you put your baby into, and it's motorized, so you turn it on and it'll start to swing your child. You can get some that swing forward, some that swing to the side. They usually play a bit of music, and some will also vibrate. They might have some toys dangling on the top so that your child can see that and touch them. But really it's just designed to help your child relax and feel like they're sort of in their parents' arms swinging, which can be really great. Maybe if you have a lot of kids, but I only have one child, he's my first, and I just didn't feel that I needed something like that, and another piece of equipment in our lounge room along with all the other baby equipment that we have, and something that probably would have only lasted 6 months, if that I probably would have had to get rid of or sell or donate because we would have had no use for it. So I'm going to give you an item that I do love that's sort of similar to a swing. It is a rocker. So this is the one that we have. It is the Bright Starts rocker, and I will link it below. So this one's really great. I really love this one. It actually lasts for 3 years. So that was a big thing for me. I want toys and items that will last. I don't know if a 2 or 3 year old will want to sit in a rocker, but the website said that it does last for 3 years. So there's that. It does vibrate, so you can put that on to relax your child. It has 2 sitting options, so you can lay them all the way back or you can sit them up. Of course, when they're older, they like to be sitting up so they can see everything. And it also has 3 different sizes. So we're on the 2nd size already. He was in the 1st size when he was a newborn, and when he gets a bit bigger, he'll go to the 3rd size. So it does really grow with your child, and I do love that. Now you can put it in stationary mode, so it just sits there, or you can put it in rocking mode. And when you put it in rocking mode, it more works for an older baby because they have to actually rock it themselves, unless you want to sit there and rock them, which we did when he was a newborn. So I do really love this product. It also does come with this cool little insert. It has these little toys that swing. He loved this when he was a newborn. This was basically his playtime when he couldn't really do anything at all. So he would just lay there and just stare at them, and then he got to the age where he started to bat them and then eventually grab them. Now he gets a bit frustrated because he just wants to put everything in his mouth, and they are attached to this little bar, so he can't do that. But it does come straight out and you can click it straight back in again, which I do love. So I usually just take it off and I give him a toy in his rocker instead. I use this pretty much every day. If I'm doing the laundry, I'll pop him in here, strap him in. He can sit out on the deck with me and watch me hang out the washing. He can sit up on the table in this thing and watch me make dinner or do the dishes. It's really great. And if I do want to relax him, if he's towards the end of his awake time and maybe he's getting a bit tired but he's not quite ready for his nap yet, I can just put him in this, maybe with a nice book or just a simple teether toy, and it'll just calm him. So I do love this product. As I said, I've linked it below if you do want to have a look at it. It was fairly inexpensive when I purchased it. I think it was around the $80 mark. I'm not sure if it was on sale at the time. I did purchase it from Baby Bunting, and they always have catalogue specials, so you can look out for that. So the second popular baby item or toy that I will not be buying for my son are those battery operated toys that you see in the shops. You know, the ones that are just filled with plastic, you press a whole bunch of buttons, they light up, make sounds, and that sort of thing. Now, there's a few reasons why I do not want to buy these for my son. One, they're usually expensive, they're filled with plastic, and they're not educational. They're just buttons. They really just entertain and overstimulate your child. So toys are designed to help the child learn what they can do with the toy, whereas these toys are designed to show the child what the toy can do. So it's not educational anyway, it's not teaching them anything at all, it's really just entertaining them. It's just acting like a babysitter, I guess, for your child to keep them entertained for a little bit. Which is fine if you want to buy those sorts of toys, but I just don't want to have a whole bunch of them laying around the house. I do have one toy similar to that, and it was actually hand-me-down. We didn't buy it ourselves. It is the Leapfrog dog. I know a lot of parents have this one. I do like this one though. It does have buttons and it does light up. It is battery operated, but it's a bit different. There's a few different textures on it, like the ears are material. It's nice and colourful. But the main thing is it has this little bone, which is kind of cute, and it's attached to this string. And when you pull it, it's actually on little wheels, and so it does come along with you. So that does teach my son cause and effect. So that's something that he can do that can alter the toy instead of him just sitting there mindlessly watching this toy light up and do things. So he can actually physically do something with the toy. So I do like that about this toy. Other than that, I haven't really seen any battery operated toys that I feel are worth the money. Yeah, I'm just not really interested. That said, what toys then do I give my child if I don't want to buy those sorts of toys? I'll show you a few. So the first type of toy that I bought my child that I do really love for him are sensory play toys. So they're really, really simple. So I'll start with these. So I have these silk sheets, just different colours. These are really inexpensive. They're nice and cheap. All you do is lay your baby down and you just rub that over their body, their face, and they love the different texture, the colour. They get to touch it, they can put it in their mouth, all that sort of stuff, and they just love it for some reason. Like, so simple, but they do really love it. So that's one thing that I've purchased for him. And then another sensory play toy is his ribbon ring. He loves this thing. It is really nice. It comes with this wooden ring, so he can sort of teethe on that if he wants to. And then all these really pretty ribbons that are tied to the ring. So once again, you can just dangle that, you know, over your baby when they're lying down or in the seat, and they can sort of play with it. But of course, with something like this, because it is long and dangly, it can be a choking hazard or a strangulation hazard. So you do want to watch your child if they're holding this. But once again, it's very simple. It was cheap. I just got it online. It's nice, easy toy, and he loves it. The next type of toy that I love to give my child, anything with wheels. So we just actually got given this as a gift. I really love it. It's colourful. It's a little lion and with wheels. It's made out of wood, which is really cute. So once again, that teaches him cause and effect. When he pulls it, it will move and it rolls. The next type of toy that I love for my son are blocks. So we have these cool little colourful foam blocks. So I love that because they're foam, they're nice and squishy. So he loves to just touch them and feel them and bite on them because they're just covered in like a plastic. They're nice and colourful. They show a different picture on each side. So when he's a bit older, I can, you know, tell him what each picture is, which is really good for their language. They're nice and fun, and obviously they stack. Anything that they can build with is really educational. It's really good for their development. So that will be good when he's a bit older. At the moment, he's just sort of biting and sucking on them. But when he gets older, it'll be really educational. Another toy that I love are these books that you can bite into. You can hear that it's It's really crinkly, so he loves that different texture. It's so colourful. There's like a different colour on each page. There's a mirror. It comes with like this honky thing. And there's a little side here that he can teeth on, so it's just so different. And there's even a little clip here, so you can clip it onto anything, a chair that they're sitting on or a pram. So I do love that because my baby loves his books and he loves to put them in his mouth. So being able to give him this that he can look at, I can sort of pretend to read it to him even though there's no words, and then he can, you know, put it in his mouth without destroying it. It's great. So this is the Lamaze book. And another one that I love is a good old mirror. Babies love mirrors. They love to look at themselves. They actually don't even know that it's them, which is funny. They don't realize that until they're much older. So when they do look in a mirror at a younger age, my baby's 5 months, they actually think it is just another baby looking at them. So sort of he looks into it and he sees a little friend, I guess. So this one's really cool. It comes with these material bits on the outside, so it's just a different texture. It's got like a little rattle as well, and it has these grippy bits that are made out of rubber that he can hold or chew on. Just anything that, I guess, comes with different things, if it makes a sound or has different textures, all those are really great for a child, just for their senses. It's all sensory play, really. And then the final thing that I love for my son, now it's a bit different. It's not a typical toy. I did not purchase it for the sole purpose of him to play with. I actually already had these things in my house. These are just household items. So we've got this one, spatula, got a whisk, and this little like rubber mold tray that I have that we used to just put ice in. So these are things that I've just given him when he's been hanging out with me in the kitchen and I've done some cooking and he just doesn't seem happy with the toys that he has. So I give him something like this that he's not used to, and it's so different, and he just loves it. And I think it's just because they're not like his typical toys. He especially loves the spatula. That's his favorite, I think, because it's easy to hold because it's got such a long handle, and then like the rubber bit on the end, he loves the feeling of that. He loves to chew on it, as well as the wood. He loves to chew on that as well. But of course, if you're going to give your baby household items, you do want to watch them because they have not been designed for a baby, so they don't, you know, meet any sort of safety standards. But of course, you as the parent have to decide what household item is going to be safe for your child. So those are a few items that I do love to buy my baby, and things that he seems to really love, and I know that they're helping him in his development and helping him learn. So the last popular baby item or toy that I will not be purchasing for my son is a walker. Now I know lots of parents have walkers and they really love them and their children have loved them, and that's great if you have one and it's working for you. I just don't want to purchase it for a number of reasons. The first being that it's just another thing that is in our living room that, you know, he'll eventually grow out of and I'm going to have to get rid of. They're expensive. I'm sure you can get cheap ones out there, but it's just another thing that I'd have to spend money on. And the last one, and the main one, is that even though they're called walkers, they actually don't help your child learn how to walk. So I did a bit of research on it because I was actually considering buying one. I was looking into it, but studies have actually shown the opposite, that it doesn't actually help your child walk, that babies who are in walkers actually take longer to develop the walking skill. So you might have a child, they might have had a walker and they might have been an early walker, who knows, but that's just what studies have shown. They can't actually see their feet when they're in the walker, and that's a really big part of that development and learning how to walk. Also, it holds them up, so they're not actually using any of their muscles at all. Whereas if you don't have a walker and they have to learn how to walk all by themselves, they learn by pulling themselves up, you know, on your couch or chairs, different things to hold them up, and they're using all that abdominal strength, their arms and everything. I know a walker does help to strengthen the legs a little bit because they're using their legs, and that's really it. They've also recalled some walkers because of safety issues. There've been babies who've fallen down the stairs and things like that. So I just don't want to be constantly watching him if he's in a walker, and, you know, him bashing into walls and all that sort of thing. And then, you know, when he is walking or crawling, I know that he wouldn't want to sit in something like that. I know that he would want to be out and about on the floor playing around and exploring. so I feel like it wouldn't last very long. And I know most walkers, you can only put them in once they start holding their head up, so like the 5-6 month age anyway. And my son is actually starting to try to crawl. He's crawling backwards actually, so I feel like it just wouldn't last very long, maybe a couple of months if that. So I feel like it would just be a big waste of money and just another thing I'd have to get rid of. That said, I have looked into activity centres. I'm not sure if I want to buy one. If you do have one and your baby loves it, please write it down in the comments which one you have and the brand, because I'd love to know. So I have looked into it. I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking about it. I'm very on the fence with an activity centre. So activity centre is very similar to a walker. They sit in it, and they're surrounded by toys, but it's stationary, so they can't actually move around. Some do jump a little bit, and they can usually swivel all the way around to look at all the different toys. So that's something that I might purchase, but I don't know. I'm a bit of a minimalist when it comes to things like that, because I just don't want a whole bunch of baby items. That said, I just wanted to show you an item that I do love that I guess is kind of similar to a walker or activity centre. You pop them in it and they jump in it. It is called the Jolly Jumper. So I know a lot of parents have this item, and if you don't, it is so worth it. I have linked the purchase below if you do want to look into it. It's definitely worth the money. We actually bought this for $20 because it was secondhand, but it's great quality. So they sit in this little thing. It's got straps, and then there's a hook that attaches to this. I'll show you. And that's attached to a spring, which helps them to jump, and then a chain. And then this thing sits in the door frame, which I love because it can go in any door frame. You don't need it separately set up somewhere in your house and it just sits there. You can move it all around your house. So I put it in the door frame near the kitchen, and he can sort of watch me do the cooking and that sort of thing. Or I'll put it in the bathroom and he watches me get ready in the morning, and it just keeps him entertained. He can look at me. Babies love, you know, when they can only lay down and they can't walk around or crawl, they love to be upright because they're always, you know, laying down and looking up at people. So if you can have them upright certain times of the day, they really do love that because they feel like they're a part of something. Especially my baby has a big case of FOMO, which is fear of missing out. He loves to be a part of what we're doing. And it's a great baby exerciser as well. So they jump in it, and they can use all their muscles and their legs, a bit of their abdominal strength, and he just loves it. He laughs every time he's in it, and he's full of so much joy. So that is a great one, and I do recommend the Jolly Jumper. Okay, so that's all of the baby items and toys that are popular with a lot of parents and babies, but I will not be buying them for my son, and the reasons why, with a few different ideas and alternatives if you wanted to buy something similar, but that isn't that particular toy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified anytime I make a new video. Thanks.